My name is Natalie, and I have an interview with a few of the cast members of the anime series Dragon Ball Z on July 2nd, 2014. How does it make you all feel to be at this year's edition of the Anime Expo?
Excited, fantastic. Anime Expo is a wonderful convention. It's great to be a part of it.
I've never been to Anime Expo, so it's my first year, so I too am excited.
I loved it. I attended a panel here a couple years ago when they were first announcing that they were going to be kind of remastering the Blu-rays, and I've never seen a crowd that's large in an anime.
Great.
It's insane.
It's very exciting.
Why did you all want to come out and be a part of this convention anyway? Out of all the other ones, out there.
My producer basically made me. No, I'm kidding. No, he just basically. I like being part of any convention. So it wasn't in this particular scenario. It wasn't a case of, hey, Justin, my producer, I want to go to Anime Expo. Justin was like, hey, we're doing the Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods thing at Anime Expo. You want to be a part of it? I'm like, hell yeah. So that's kind of how it went down for me anyway.
Yeah, being part of Anime Expo this year, the big push is Battle of Gods, and I think it's a fantastic movie, and it's worthy of the largest anime convention in the States.
Absolutely.
And I want to go just because they're playing the Battle of Gods movie, and I haven't gotten to see the final mix of it yet, so I'm really excited.
Oh, there's that too, yeah. We haven't seen it other than working on it. We haven't seen a final mix or recording of it.
For those out there who don't know what Dragon Ball Z is, can you give us a brief summary as to what the show is about and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think we should explain the whole show.
We'll start at the beginning.
I tried to do this to Todd Habercorn the other day, and I lost him about a minute into it.
Yeah.
It's like explaining Star Wars to someone, but 10 times more complicated.
It's a delightful little show about a bunch of dudes who are best friends, and and the more powerful they become, because they do a lot of training, like gymnastics and stuff like that, and they all gain their confidence, and the stronger they become, the more blonde hair and blue-eyed they become, which is for them is really important because they really hate the way they look otherwise. So the show's more about like kind of vanity and how attractive can you look as a blonde hair.
And then you get to there's Dragon Balls in it, which you get to wish for more beauty. So
Right,
you're like, you got the Dragon Balls, and I want to be better looking.
Yeah, that's the part that's kind of not appropriate for kids because they show the Dragon Balls a lot.
Yeah, and you do not want to see the Dragon Balls. There's 7 of them. Just put that in perspective.
That's like 3.5 dragons.
Yeah.
To give you a more printable answer, Dragon Ball Z is an enormous, multi-generational story of a main character played by Sean here, Goku, and this actually wasn't very far off. It is about Goku, and he befriends several personalities, and really the show deals with so many incredible topics, whether it's loyalty, pride before the fall, being courageous, doing things for the right reasons.
Why don't girls have? Never mind.
And so forth and so on. So I think one of the reasons why it's such a hit is because it's so accessible to multi cultures.
That really doesn't explain what it's about, really, but it's a great synopsis.
It's a bunch of
meaning of it.
Like at the core of it, it's a bunch of dudes trying to get as much power as they possibly, and the more angry they become, and they have to defend the Earth against various enemies.
And they squirt energy out of their hands.
Yeah. There's over 9,000 episodes.
There's over 9. There are.
What can you tell us about the new movie? Who are the gods, and what are they battling for?
Well, that's a. I don't want to give away too much. The gods are. Should I tell them what the god of this movie?
No.
Oh, shouldn't. Okay.
No, that's a spoiler.
It is a spoiler. There's well, Dragon Ball Z tends to revolve around Goku wanting to be. So he finds out there's this guy who's a god, who's the god of destruction, and he finds out about him, and he's like, I want to fight that dude.
And at the same time, and this is not a joke, the god of destruction wakes up early from a multi-decade nap because he's had a premonition that there's some dude out there who's could be a rival to him. and he has this vision of a Super Saiyan God. So he comes to Earth to try and find the Super Saiyan God. Goku, the main character, sitting around, he has no idea what a Super Saiyan God is. All he knows is that some dude is really strong has come to Earth and he wants to punch you in the face.
And Goku has a sick obsession with really getting almost turned on when he finds out that there's someone who could be more powerful than him that he can fight. So, really, Goku, I think, probably would have started a fight club. He loves to fight, and it's evidence. But I don't want to give any more away, but the Battle of Gods really isn't about a fight between Goku and the main protagonist, although there is a fight in there between those two. There's a deeper fight going on that I'm not going to talk about that I think those serious Dragon Ball Z fans will get.
It's about Goku and his mother, and he's trying to extend his curfew. That's what the real fight is.
If a brand new fan were to go see this movie at the theater, having never seen the TV show, would they be able to jump right in and understand the story and who the characters are? Or would they have to follow the TV show and then understand the movie?
That's an excellent question. It's one of the first things I noticed when we finished recording it with that. You do not have to be a Dragon Ball Z fan to get many elements of Dragon Ball Z. If you are to get the story at all, and if you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, there are definitely a lot of fan service in the film. So non-Dragon Ball Z fans will get it, and Dragon Ball Z fans will love it. I think it's the best movie, possibly one of the best bit of Dragon Ball Z-dom to date. It's my favorite. Of all the Dragon Ball Z stuff I've done, it's my favorite.
I think not only is it accessible, but I think that it would probably encourage fans, encourage people who haven't seen the series after seeing the movie. I think they'd be very interested to watch the series.
Yeah, I think they'd go back and watch it. Yeah.
Which was your favorite part or line to do for this film, and why?
Well, for me, I got asked this question earlier, and I realized it was at the very end of the film where Goku is referencing something Vegeta said earlier, and in the Japanese actually does this, and so I did it in English, does a Vegeta impression. So that was my favorite part in terms of just my parts. But my favorite part that doesn't involve me as an actor is when the dragon finds out Beerus is there and gets all nervous and scared of Beerus and stuff like that.
Favorite line, wow. There's a line, there's a really important part of the movie where Vegeta, the character I play, shows emotions toward his significant other that he typically doesn't show. And he has some pretty awesome moments regarding his relationship with Bulma. I don't want to spoil them for you, but when you see it, you'll understand.
Yeah, I like those moments as well.
I think there's a lot of great comical moments between a lot of the supporting cast members throughout the movie.
Absolutely.
That I find that were very enjoyable to work for. They were fun scenes.
And I feel like the way I summed up the movie is like the first half is very few differences between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in terms of its pacing and comedy and story. And I think they even grabbed some characters from Dragon Ball or in the first part. And then the second half is very Dragon Ball Z in terms of the fact that it's just this giant, long fight between Goku and Beerus. And then you have a nice comedic moment with just the main Dragon Ball Z cast at the end. It's just an extremely well-done addition to the whole nod to the whole Dragon Ball series. It's a Akira Toriyama sanction, so it's definitely going to be awesome for that. And it is. So you will like it. No.
For you as the voice actors, does it ever get annoying when the fans ask you, hey, can you do the voice? Or can you say this for my website or this or that or anything? It's like, I don't want to do that. Or do you not mind it at all?
I hate it. It's extremely annoying. No, I don't mind it. I'm flattered when that happens. Unless when people ask me to do Kamehameha, that's just something I don't like doing only because it's super loud and would actually hurt someone's ears and also hurts my voice a lot.
That's the only thing that bothers me is that sometimes it's a little embarrassing to do. These characters, especially in Dragon Ball, are very loud characters.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 times that ever really bother me that much, and one of them is when they ask me to do something in a public place that's where I could embarrass myself doing it. And the other one is when they kind of don't ask. We now live in a generation where people just walk up to you with their phone already And they don't actually ask you. All right, hey, say this slang for my sister. Say, Vegeta, I love you, Grandma. And, that's the only part that bothers me, when they are at least a little bit more polite about asking if they can film you before they start filming you.
True.
Yeah, I always wonder that myself. I'm like, oh, I know he did the voice of that character, but I'm too nervous and shy to ask him, because what if he says no?
Yeah. Most people are pretty happy to do it. It's just, it can just be a little embarrassing unless you're really feeling it.
I think the problem, one of the things I struggle with is they ask me to do a line, and we don't, unlike other films or, a feature film where you memorize all your lines, we don't ever memorize any of our lines because we read them off the scripts when we, acting them. So sometimes they'll say, do a line, and I don't have any of them memorized other than Kamehameha or Hey, It's Me, Goku. And so, do a line. I recorded that 10 years ago. I have no idea. And then I asked them, I go, what's your favorite line? And they don't have anything. So, do Kamehameha. I'm like, come on. So it ends up being a funny who can remember lines contest.
Why should people go and see this film at the theaters, even though it's in limited release, as opposed to streaming it online or checking out the DVD?
Well, streaming online is illegal, so if you're doing that, you're not paying for it, then, unless you're talking like Netflix or something.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Don't do
Netflix
that.
or whatever.
I mean, I think for the sheer fact that it's going to be in the theater, it'd be a very unique experience to see Dragon Ball Z, and you don't normally get to see anime on a huge screen like that, especially something as epic as Dragon Ball. So I think I don't even know how you would not want to watch it in the theater if you had an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you just don't like the work.
I actually think this is an enormous moment, not just for Dragon Ball Z, but for really all of anime.
True.
It doesn't always get this kind of publication, and so I feel like it's great for anybody who's a fan of this medium of entertainment to kind of get out there and help to support not just Dragon Ball Z, but helping, I guess, letting the public know that that more of us want this kind of entertainment, and we want it at the theater.
Yeah. Because in Japan, I work on Pokemon also, and I found out that Pokemon and other anime in Japan, they release in the theaters, and it does better than their mainstream films. It's not just like #1 at the box office for anime. It'll be like #1 at the box office for all movies in Japan. So we don't really have that kind of culture that supports anime as much in America, particularly in the theater. So, like Justin was saying, if this does well in the theater and opens the door, you might see more and more anime in the theater, and it could change the culture and the tide around, what theaters will accept for release, and hopefully open the door for lots of other anime, which I think it can. I think it's that good of a film.
Do any of you have any other projects that you're currently working on or have, planned in the future that you'd like to talk about?
I just was cast in Sophia the First in a couple of different roles. I can't totally tell you which ones yet, but that'll be airing in about 10 months. I've done some video game projects, and I'm hoping we do the Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse game. I hope. I don't know anything about that, but I hope we do. I'm excited about that, maybe.
I'm pretty sure we'll be doing that soon.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Coming out soon.
New game.
Well, coming out at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Justin, what are you working on?
But most of what I work on is with Funimation, so I'll use this opportunity to say head over to the website and check out all of the many new properties that we've got coming out.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
constantly rolling out new properties and new shows to keep the anime addiction going for those who are out there.
At www.fun.com.
Is it .fun?
It's Funimation.
.com. .net?
Don't go to fun.
www.funimation.org/weirdos. Wait, Funimation.com. It's .net.
All right,
Thank you, Natalie. Just kidding.
thank you.
All right, thanks.
See you
Bye.
later.